Okay, we're on day 14 of filming. It's May the 14th, I think. We're over here with the trees that my son and I planted last spring. Next to me here was the first apple tree that we've planted. Watch your fingers there, bud. They might get in the way. There you go. This is a Lautz apple, L-A-U-T-Z. I bought 2 Lautz apples because even though they're the same variety, they can pollinate one another. And they produce an apple that's a good long storage apple for wintertime. And that's what I was most concerned with, I guess, for our climate. We have a long winter of, a good 6 months that we need to get through. And so if we want to have fresh fruit and things like that, it's good to have varieties that will store long. Now what we've done today is we just came in our little area here and cleared it out with the bush cutters to make sure that there's nothing else growing and competing with our trees. And this here, if you look around a little bit, we had put down a lot of brush last year in order to try to keep back any wild animals from coming in and grazing here. Make sure we're lined up there, bud, through the camera. There you go. Yeah, so this was probably about that high last year to try to protect the tree here. Now over time, of course, the brush piles start to settle. Now there's not a whole lot of protection. A moose could come in or something. So the first thing we were going to do here today is we're going to use a tomato stand that we have, and it's not a lot of protection, but it's something that if we put this down over top of it, it may keep out an animal from going straight at it and eating at it. And then the next thing we're going to do today is we're going to grab some leaves and come over here and put them in all around this for a mulch to keep everything else down from growing. So we've got a whole wheelbarrow here. Actually, before that, we're into my son's favorite thing. How much do you like moose poo? Not your favorite?
No, it's not good. I don't like it.
Of it. I actually got him to pick some up in his hand today, which is a first, because last year Leo didn't even want to walk over top of the stuff. But this stuff is quite dry. I was showing him, this would be probably from a moose last year. And so it really gets dried out and condensed. It's sort of like just a hay or something almost in your hands. But we found a bunch of piles of moose poo. We're going to try to spread it around here today, around each of our trees. We have 6 trees to do this with. And so this is going to be a bit of fertilizer underneath the mulch that we put down. So that's that. And then next we're going to grab some leaves here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dog, stop, doggy.
Look out, Loco.
Look out. Leave. Okay.
All right. And these are going to go down, they say, to keep down any growth around the tree and also to help fertilize it and to help keep moisture in. You can see we pulled these up today from a pile we had from last fall, and just underneath the top layer of leaves, everything's really wet. And so I'm hoping this will help when we water it. It's going to help regulate the water that goes down through. And it's going to help keep this watered that we don't have to do a whole lot of it. Last year we had a lot of work to try to water these as they were first planted to make sure that they got established. But this year I'm hoping that we don't have to do a whole lot. Then after this we are going to do a watering. It's the first one of the year, and I think we're going to put a bit of fertilizer on them. Watch where your camera's going there, bud. Yeah, I think we're going to do a fertilizing here today on each of our trees, and we're going to go around to each tree that we have. In a few minutes we'll show you some of the nut trees that we have. So we'll take you down over in a different area, and I'll explain where we planted those and why, and we'll talk about that. You just hit a pause button there. That's it, buddy.
Go.
All right, I'll just point out a couple other things. We have over here a grapevine that we tried planting last year. So I'm going to give it a little bit of water, and we'll probably put a bit of mulch down around it. This here is actually a blueberry plant growing out of there. And so I help that out a little bit too as we go. And then over here is our second apple tree that we have. And we'll put some water down. We've already got our moose poo down. We're going to give this a good watering and fertilizing today. And then we're going to put our leaves and our tomato stand down as well. Okay, you can pause.
Okay. That's not enough.
There you go, bud. Grab some more. Big arm loads. Yeah, big handfuls. That's it. Watch your step there. I'll move this log out of your way. Good job. Let's grab another.
Because look, that's not laughing. That's look. We need to rest for that.
A good help. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to come down and show you guys these last two for today. This here's a really interesting tree that Leo and I planted last year called a buartnut tree. And at full maturity, this here is supposed to grow up to 250 feet tall. If you look up at the pine tree even over here, you can see this is even going to tower over our pines. So compared to the other trees here in the forest, when this here reaches maturity, it's going to be huge if we can get it to maturity. I think maybe what happened last year, this started to sprout down here. We may have lost this here portion, and something that looks like grazed the top of it. So our protection over here hasn't been adequate. We're going to have to try to do something this year and hope for the best that this continues to grow. And lastly, I just want to show you next to it, we have right here what's called a hawthorn plant. And these here have these really, really sharp wooden needles that come off of it. They also produce an edible berry. It's not a very nice berry, but in the fall of every year they produce a red berry that people use for some sort of tonics and teas and stuff like that. That's supposed to be very good for you. So we would like to keep those around just because of that reason, that they're edible. And also what I'm hoping to do over time is to spread these around to create a barrier to protect things like our trees down here. So if we can get these to, propagate or grow more, then this is great. And we tend to try to look after these two at the same time when we're down here. That's everything for today. We'll take some more videos down here over the next few weeks. Thank you, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.